It's a chilly morning in Washington, D.C. The sky hangs low, painted in shades of gray. Traffic hums along the streets. Pedestrians clutch their coats against the breeze. In the heart of it all sits the corner table, a small café tucked between towering office buildings. Inside, the air smells of fresh coffee and warm pastries. Wooden tables line the room, scratched from years of use. The walls glow with a soft amber light. Regulars chat quietly over their mugs. It's a haven from the city's chaos. But today, that's about to change. David stands behind the counter, wiping it down with a rag. He's 26, wiry, with dark hair that falls into his eyes. His apron stained from a long shift. He's muttering to himself, scrolling through his phone between tasks. "Another day in God's country," he says, voice thick with mockery, "serving the righteous Republicans their holy brew." He's an atheist through and through, not the quiet kind either. He hates the way religion gets twisted here, especially by the conservative crowd. He's also a loud advocate for immigrants, the type who'd argue with a brick wall if it voted red. In a city like this, he's a spark waiting for a fuse. The door chimes. A woman steps in first. She's in her 40s, bundled in a scarf with sharp eyes and a no-nonsense vibe. Her name's Maria. She's a regular, a nurse who immigrated from El Salvador years ago. She nods at David. "Morning trouble," she says, smiling faintly. He grins back. "Morning hero. Usual?" She nods. He starts her latte, chatting as he works. "You hear the latest? They're pushing that border bill again?" Maria sighs. "Same old story. They'll never stop." David snorts. "Not while the Bible thumpers run the show." Across the room, an older man looks up from his newspaper. His name's Frank. He's a retired accountant, gray-haired and gruff. He's got a Trump 2024 pin on his jacket. "You kids need to quit whining," he grumbles. "Country's better off now than ever." David rolls his eyes. "Sure, Frank, if you like walls and hypocrisy." Frank huffs, turning back to his paper. Maria chuckles under her breath. "It's a typical morning here. Tensions simmer, but they don't boil over. Not yet." Then the door swings open again. The room goes still. Donald Trump steps inside, flanked by 2 Secret Service agents. It's his second term, and he looks the part. Navy suit crisp, red tie bold, hair immaculate. His presence fills the space like a storm rolling in. The agents scan the room, hands near their earpieces. Trump squints, taking it all in. A few customers stare, others pretend to sip their coffee. Maria freezes mid-sentence. Frank lowers his paper, a smug grin forming. David looks up. His grin isn't smug. It's dangerous. Trump strides to the counter. "Nice little spot," he says. His voice carries that familiar mix of charm and steel. "Coffee, black." David sets his rag down. He crosses his arms, leaning forward slightly. "Sure thing, Mr. President," he says. "Need that boost for your sacred mission, huh? Or maybe it's all that immigrant chasing wearing you out." His words cut sharp. The air tightens. Maria shifts in her seat. Frank chuckles, but it's nervous. Trump tilts his head. "You got something on your mind, Garson?" he asks. "Spit it out." David's grin widens. He leans closer, elbows on the counter. "Oh, I've got a lot," he says. "Let's start with that fake Christian game you play, posing with Bibles while you lock kids in cages. Your family's a joke too. Ivanka's got that Barbie smile plastered on and it's nauseating. You're America's golden wrecking ball. Congrats." The cafe holds its breath. Trump chuckles low and slow. He slips his hands into his pockets. "David, right?" he says, glancing at the name tag. "I see it. You hate me. Hate everything I stand for. But I'm not here for your sob story, kid." David's eyes flash. He straightens up, voice climbing. "Hate you? You're damn right," he snaps. "I'm sick of your Republican circus, shoving Jesus down our throats while you screw over immigrants. They built this country. You just build walls. Even Barron's a mini-you strutting around like a trust fund prince." Maria gasps softly. Frank slams his paper down. "Show some respect, boy," he growls. David ignores him, locking eyes with Trump. "Respect," he says. "For what? Your holy war on the poor?" Melania's got that fake angel act down, doesn't she? Makes me want to gag. The room crackles with tension. A young woman at a corner table grabs her phone, filming quietly. The agents step closer, but Trump raises a hand. He's still calm. Too calm. "You're a broken record," Trump says. "Same old lines. I fix things. Economy's up. Military's strong. Borders are secure. You're just a loudmouth with a coffee pot." David's face reddens. He slams a fist on the counter. "Fix things?" he shouts. "You fix nothing. Immigrants keep this place alive while you play dictator. You hide behind your church photo ops and lie. Your whole family's a scam. Melania's crocodile tears, Ivanka's designer hypocrisy, Barron's silver spoon swagger. It's disgusting." Trump's smile vanishes. He steps right up to the counter. His voice drops, icy and precise. "Listen close, David," he says. "You're crossing lines. My family, my faith, you don't get it. I'm here because I won. Twice. You're here because you're nobody. Your immigrant fantasies, your atheist preaching, they don't change a thing. Stay in your lane." David's hands shake. Rage boils in his chest. He grits his teeth. "Your throne's gonna fall," he hisses, "and I'll laugh when it does." Trump laughs. It's sharp, dismissive. He steps back. "You'll laugh," he says, "but get that coffee first. You're done talking." David stands there, fists clenched. He grabs a cup, pours the coffee. His hands tremble, spilling a little. Trump walks to a table, sits down, and crosses his legs. He sips the coffee like nothing happened. The agents relax. Frank claps slowly. "That's how you handle punks," he mutters. Maria shoots him a glare. The cafe buzzes back to life, but it's uneasy. The woman in the corner stops recording, whispering to her friend. David wipes the counter harder than before. His mind races. He lost this fight. Trump walked away the victor, cool and untouchable. But David's not done, not by a long shot. He glances at Maria. She gives him a small nod, like she gets it. Frank smirks into his paper. The room settles, but the air still hums with what just happened. Minutes pass. Trump finishes his coffee. He stands, adjusts his tie, and heads for the door. The agents follow. David watches him go. "Next time," he mutters under his breath. The door shuts. The tension eases, but not for him. He turns to Maria. "They think they own everything," he says. She nods. "They do, for now." Frank pipes up. "Get used to it, kid. Winners win." David ignores him, pouring Maria's latte with a scowl. Outside, the gray sky looms. The city churns on. The corner table sits quiet again, but it's different now. A battleground marked by words and wills. David leans against the counter, staring at nothing. His anger simmers. Trump's gone, but the fight's not. One day, he tells himself, he'll see it crumble. He'll be there when it does. The morning stretches on. The cafe fills with its usual hum. And somewhere in David's head, the next move takes shape.